Hi everyone, we're a little lower today. I just thought I would sit down instead of stand up. Still in the same spot essentially though, and today I'm going to be going through the titles that I got in the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale. It's officially over. I didn't know if I was going to get anything more. I figured I wouldn't, but I thought I would just wait until the sale was over to do a haul video. And then I also have a handful of Kino titles that I got during their June something sale. I forgot what it was called, but it started in June and went into like mid-July, so I thought I would stick those in here. And I also have a couple Criterion titles that I'll start off with that I actually got for my brother. Yeah, so I'll start with Criterion stuff, Kino, and then give you tell you some things I'm working on right now, basically. So, yeah, first, the two things that I got for my brother that he really wanted was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This is the first one that I got him. It's from 1982, spine number 1075. Fast Times is actually the only film of all of these that I have previously seen, and I've seen it twice. Once I was very little. I was somewhere between like 10 and 12, and my dad covered my eyes during a scene. I think, like, the most famous scene from this movie, when Phoebe Cates, right? That's the actress's name. She's, like, getting out of the pool, and then the brother of the main character, I'm pretty sure that's who he is. I don't know the actor's name or the character's name. So, yeah, he, like, jerks off in the bathroom to Phoebe Cates' character. Yeah, my dad covered my eyes when I first saw that, but not my little brother's eyes. I don't know why. I feel like not necessarily bitter about it, but I've noticed that girls are censored a lot more than guys, but girls are the ones who are, like, expected to be more mature at a younger age. Like, my dad covered my eyes, but I had already had at least 1 year of health class, if not 3. I had already been on my period for a year, if not 3. Like, also, I was in middle school, or about to be in middle school, and, like, middle school boys are the worst. Am I right? What is it? What is it? I don't know. I was just, like, thinking back to, like, that time, basically. And I was like, yikes. Anyway, then, like, a handful of years ago, wait, I like how that was my segue. I was just done. Also, I had, like, very little restriction growing up in terms of, like, what my younger brother and I were allowed to watch. Pretty much everything. So that's why it, like, also feels significant, like, knowing that this is one of the few things that I wasn't able to watch or watch part of. Yeah, my parents, like, objected to absolutely nothing. Most of the time, though, we would be watching something sort of, like, as a family. And half the time, I'm assuming, I'm kind of, like, thinking back, half the time it was, like, things that we were all seeing for the first time. So obviously that's a little different compared to something that was older that my brother and I were watching. Anyway, we ended up rewatching it a handful of years ago, I think like 5 years ago. And so then we actually watched it in full. Okay, well, I actually watched it in full because, again, my brother's eyes were not closed. I was somewhere between the ages of 10 and 12, and my younger brother is 4 years younger than me. So he was 6, 7, or 8, and he didn't have to close his eyes. Or, like, my dad put his hand in front of my eyes, so I couldn't even look if I tried. And the scene was not even that bad, honestly. I don't know, maybe it's just because I was like 20, 21, and I was expecting a lot more, and then it was not. It was so underwhelming. I was like, wait, that's the scene that you covered my eyes for? Whatever. So, anyway, I got this for my brother, which I've said like 3 times already. He really wanted it in his like overall movie collection. This is only the 3rd Criterion film that he has. Yeah, not as big into Criterion. He has a lot of Arrow. He has a lot of Scream Factory, Shout Factory stuff. Yeah, I think those are his biggest, like, collections in terms of the boutique labels and such. But he really wanted this, and I don't really want it. I don't know, it's just not a title that stands out to me for what I want in my movie collection. And of course, now that he has it, I'm not even gonna think about getting my own copy, because that would be dumb in my opinion. There's already a copy in the house. So that also means that, well, before I transition into the next title, I do want to say I'm looking forward. I would like to watch the special features on this. Will I? Yeah, I'll probably rewatch it and then watch the supplements, just for fun, I guess. But another title that I don't have in my collection, but am now, you know, it's not on the list anymore, really, because we already have a copy in the house, and that is Memories of Murder. From 2003. The spine number is 1073, and my brother really wanted this. He, I think it's the only Bong Joon-ho film that he has left to see. Yeah, I've already said that. I haven't seen any of the other films yet. I'm looking forward to watching it with him, even though it's gonna be a while. He's really focused on his anime shows right now. So I was talking to him, I was like, hey, would you be interested in seeing the films that I got for myself during the Criterion sale? I think that there's 2 titles that he would be interested in watching. And he's like, yeah, but you can watch them because it's probably going to be a couple of months. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I have a lot to catch up on in terms of anime. So he was like talking about stuff. And I was like, okay, great. Anyway, it's probably going to be a while until we watch this. But we have it, so we can watch it anytime. And because he has it, it's not really on my wish list anymore. It was, but he really wanted it. I could wait on it. I wasn't gonna get it this sale, and I'm not sure when I was really going to pick it up because there are just other titles that I'm more interested in. Yeah, I am definitely gonna hold off on getting my own copy since he has it. So, of the titles that I got for myself, the one that I knew I wanted for sure, the one that I waited until it was released to go to Barnes & Noble because it came out on the 20th, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, the one I knew I was getting is La Piscine from 1969, spine number 1088. I watched the clip that's on Criterion's page for this, and it was so intriguing. But also, it's a French film from the 60s starring Alain Delon and Romy Schneider, and they were a couple in real life, so I thought that that would be interesting to see on screen. It also stars Maurice René, who is the other, like, male lead in Purple Noon, along with Alain Delon, and that is my favorite film, so it should be interesting to see the 2 of them, like, together again. From what I can gather, this is about the 2 of them. I can't tell if they're, like, having an affair or if they're just being together. I don't know if she, like, already is married or has a boyfriend or if she's, like, a widow. I don't know. I'm totally just rambling here, but they're together in this, and then Maurice René's character is somebody who is, like, visiting the lady, Romy Schneider's character, and he has a daughter who seems to be, like, spying on them. That's what I got from the clip. And they were, like, really worried about her. And look at this, like, steamy, risque sort of cover here. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's definitely intriguing. So then, this is probably the only other title that I was, like, on the lookout for, that I figured I would probably get, but didn't know for sure still. And that is The Parallax View. This is from 1974. The spine number is 1064. This is another case of me watching the clip that's on Criterion's page for this. It was so intriguing. Oh my goodness gracious. I had to watch more, which is, like, why I was definitely on the lookout for it. This is about a senator who is assassinated, and then Warren Beatty's character, he's a reporter, and he starts to, like, look into the assassination and starts to, like, uncover a conspiracy, essentially. So it sounds really interesting from what I read on the back, and then also just, like, the clip is the senator being assassinated. And it's just a really interesting angle that you get, like, the perspective. It's, like, it focuses on these 2 characters, and they're having a conversation. They're, like, outside on a balcony, and then they're in front of the window, and then suddenly there's just, like, blood. I mean, there's more to the clip. There's, like, the buildup of, you can tell, like, the people who have been hired as waiters or whatever, they're there to do the assassination. So there's some buildup, but then when it gets to the assassination scene, specifically the moment when it happens, you're seeing it from outside, and then blood splatters on the window, and then the guy just drops, and then his, like, wife starts screaming, and I was just like, wait, I was not expecting that, because when I watched the clip, I just watched it not knowing anything, despite the cover being somebody with a bullet going through their head. I wasn't expecting it. So, very interested to watch this. This is one of the titles that I thought my brother would be interested in watching too, even though I'm just gonna watch it without him first. My mom also thought it sounded interesting, so I might try to watch it with my family, I guess. I'm gonna assume my dad's already seen it, but I don't know. It could be a good family movie. I also got All That Jazz from 1979. The spine number is 724. I just thought this would be a good companion because I recently got Cabaret, so I'm pretty sure that's also directed by Roy Scheider. Musical, jazz, that's all I know, and that's fine with me. And this is a title that I've gone back and forth on a lot of the times, and now I finally have it, so I don't have to think about getting it anymore. I already have it. And then lastly, I got The Fisher King, and this is from 1991, by number 764. All I know about this is that Robin Williams plays a homeless man who is on a quest for the Holy Grail. Or is he on the quest? Does he just think he's found it? I'm pretty sure. He thinks he knows where it is, and he's gonna go get it. And I know this also has Jeff Bridges and is directed by Terry Gilliam. And I thought that I'm soon going to be reading Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which is actually the Black Spine book right up there. So I'm going to be reading that once I finish one of the other books that I'm currently reading. And I just figured that with that, and really wanting to see The Green Knight, oh my god, because I think that's obviously that's one of the, well, I want to read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight in the first place, but that's one of the reasons why I'm reading it like now, is because of the Green Knight film that is now out. And I think it's my most anticipated film for the year. I haven't read Dune, so I'm not like super hyped about that personally, and I also am not into sci-fi very much. It's my least favorite genre, I would say. Yeah, I think I'm the most excited for The Green Knight, and it's out now. I thought I would get another story that has to do with Arthurian legend, and yeah, that's it. Even though I don't think that this is going to really, I think that this is not going to have a lot of like lore stuff in it, other than just like the Holy Grail being a sort of icon of Arthurian legend. And of course it like obviously comes from like Jesus Christ, but it has its significance, of course, with Arthurian legend as well. Okay, so that's it. Was that all I wanted to mention? I think so, at least in terms of like the Criterion stuff. And now for the Kino stuff. This is honestly a little ridiculous. I got 5 movies that I am not watching anytime soon. Why, you ask? Because they're all adaptations of books I have yet to read. So I'll be putting them off until reading the books. But having them means that I'm more likely to get the books and read those books. Does that make sense? I do have one. I have one of the books, but I have 2 of the books. Oh my gosh, I have 2 of the books. But the other 3 I have to get still. Does that sound crazy? I would really like to know if anybody else is like that and will buy a movie even though they know they're not going to watch it anytime soon. Please tell me. I would really love to know if I'm not the only person who will do that. Alright, I forgot. I was going to mention something else and I don't remember now. So, it's going to bother me though. Oh, it's really going to bother me. Okay, well, I'll just get started here. So, the first title... Oh, wait. Okay. I remember now. The Thing... This is only my 2nd order from Kino, and I love ordering from Kino, because whenever I get, like, the receipt, like, invoice sheet, it tells me the listing price for what each release, you know, the suggested retail price of each release, and then how much that I paid sale price. And I like to add up the listing price and the sale price and see how much I paid and how much I would have paid. And for like these 5, it said it would have been $160 and some amount of cents. And I'm just like, wow, but I only paid $56 and some amount of cents. Okay, well, not including tax, obviously, but you know, $56 instead of $160. Like, that's crazy. And I love that, especially because I feel like Kino has a lot of releases that, similar to Criterion, like, aren't available on other labels, or just like don't have other releases. At least thinking about it in terms of Region 1, Region A releases. I know that Criterion has some, like, crossover with things on, like, Eureka, a handful of, like, Arrow titles as well, but, like, those are UK releases specifically. Anyway, I like having these movies and knowing that I didn't pay, like, a fortune for them, even though they are lesser. I mean, these are wide releases, but they're, like, lesser wide releases. Do you get do you get that? Anyway, let's actually get into it. So the first thing that I got is The Group. This is from 1966, and this doesn't list any sort of supplements on it. I'll know for sure when I put in the disc and end up watching this. The main reason why I got this is because it has Jessica Walter in it, and she recently died, and there were just, like, I saw a bunch of posts on Twitter with photos and clips of things that she was in, specifically like Archer and Arrested Development. But then I saw a few things from The Group here, and it just made me really interested. I don't know that much about this other than it's about this group of women, and honestly that's enough for me to be interested in it, especially after seeing just like, it was just like a clip of Jessica Walter's character like on the phone. That's all it was. I liked the way it looked as well. I mean, I do have a thing for 60s films, so I just wanted to double check. Yeah, the novel is by Mary McCarthy. I don't have it yet, but it's on my list of, like, books to get soon, and is sort of one of those things that I'm looking at getting with money that I would have used towards Criterion stuff, but decided to, like, narrow down my purchasing for the Criterion sale. And then this is also directed by you know what? Here we go. A little bit of a tangent here, but I've always read his name as Sidney Lumet, and recently, like, Nathan Jones. Yes, I'm subscribed to like 5 Nathans. It's ridiculous, honestly. I didn't know Nathan was such a popular name. But Nathan Jones and Cinema Dave have been talking about Sidney Lumet quite often recently, or in recent months, I should say. And they say Sidney Lumet, and I was like, I thought it was Lumet. So now I have to look it up. I've just reminded myself to look up how you actually say it, because I don't want to pronounce the T. It sounds weird to me. Sidney Lumet. No, Sidney Lumet. But it's directed by Sidney Lumet, so I'm going to continue saying Lumet until I know that is incorrect, if that is indeed incorrect. Yeah, and there's no, like, supplements listed on that. So, then the next film that I have is The Beguiled. This is, like, I'm pretty sure online it said, like, special edition, so it actually comes with a slipcover, which I was not expecting. I'm very surprised by, and this is an alternative cover art. I have it flipped around. This cover is on the other side. And this is from 1971. So this is from 1971. There are special features listed on the back, so I will tell them to you. There's an audio commentary by film historian Kat Ellinger, an interview with actress Melody Thomas Scott, The Beguiled, Misty, Don, and Clint featurette, and Trailers from Hell with John Landis, and then the theatrical trailer. I don't have this book, and also if this title seems familiar to you, and then I'll tell you, like, a little bit about it. This was remade. I keep saying and it's bothering me so much. I'm not going to be able to edit them all out. But this was remade in 2016, give or take a year. 2016, I want to say 2017, but it could have been a year earlier. And that was directed by Sofia Coppola, starring... Was Nicole Kidman in that? I don't know. But I know that Kirsten Dunst is in that, and Elle Fanning. Yes. And that looked good, but I knew that that was based on a book, so I didn't watch it and didn't get the book. But now that I have this, I'll get the book and I'll read it and then watch this and then also watch the Sofia Coppola adaptation. So what I know about this, what I'll read from the back here. During the Civil War, a wounded Union soldier is sheltered by a headmistress and students of a girls' academy in the South. As his health returns, his desire increases, but can he trust these enemy women to not turn him in? He takes his chances, but soon realizes that his benefactress can't be trusted, and that's all I want to know, so that's all I'm gonna read out loud. Yes, I'm looking forward to all these. Do I really have to say that for all of them? I don't think so. Next, the Merchant Ivory Library all new 4K restoration. We've got the Bostonians. This is based on a novel. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know the author of The Beguiled. From the novel by Thomas Cullinan. The letters are kind of like squished together. Cullinan, I think it's Cullinan. So there's the author of The Beguiled, and then The Bostonians is based on the novel by Henry James. So I think that this is going to be the novel that I get from Henry James, the first one that I read that's longer than his like short stories and novellas that I've read. I've mentioned previously that I have tried many of his works and have not enjoyed most of them. The only one that I liked was The Romance of Certain Old Clothes, which is very short. It's probably, like, if I had it physically, it'd maybe be like 10 pages. I read it online, so I don't actually own it. So when I saw this in the sale, I was just thinking, like, I'll get The Bostonians, and that'll be the first, like, longer Henry James work that I read, because I definitely like longer novels than short stories and novellas and such. I just prefer more. I want more character development, I want more plot, and obviously a short story. I feel like I'm shrinking. A short story is obviously very good if it is able to have the same sort of effect that something that is 400 pages or something can give you in terms of an experience. I don't know that much about this. That's not new here. But this stars Vanessa Redgrave, Christopher Reeve, Madeline Potter, Linda Hunt, Jessica Tandy, and it's from 1984. The disc features are a new interview with director James Ivory, conversations from the quad, James Ivory on the Bostonians, theatrical trailer, and the 2018 re-release trailer. Adaptation of Henry James's novel of political intrigue and forbidden romance in post-Civil War Boston. That's all I'm gonna read. The Bostonians. Also, it's Merchant Ivory. It's a Merchant Ivory adaptation. Like, I feel like you can't go wrong with that, right? Right? So speaking of Merchant Ivory adaptation, we have Howard's End next in this beautiful... I was not expecting this. Oh my goodness gracious. This is a deluxe edition. Like, obviously it comes with the slipcover here that is hard to get off right now. Comes with the movie and a booklet. It's about 25 pages. Has lots of pictures and an essay, it looks like. Stars Emma Thompson, Anthony Hopkins, Vanessa Redgrave, Helena Bonham Carter, Samuel West. This, I was thinking that Howard's End is the next the next novel that I have to read from E.M. Forster, but I actually think I'm wrong. I think it's A Room with a View. I'll have to correct myself, like, in the description or something. I have The Longest Journey on the way. I'm reading he has 6 novels, E.M. Forster. That is the author of Howard's End. He has 6 novels. He has lots of, like, short story collections and such, but first I'm just going to go through his novels. He has 6. I'm going to read them in order of when he wrote them. And because Maurice, because, like, Morris is the UK, like, British way to pronounce it, I guess. Morris was published posthumously because he could not publish it when he was alive. It's a gay story. He was gay. Yes, I would have tarnished his reputation, unfortunately. And so it wasn't published until after he died. But I would like to read it, like, when he wrote it. You know what I mean? I like doing that for authors, especially if, well, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter if they don't have that many books or if they have a lot of work to me. But I think when they have fewer novels, it's kind of almost more of an incentive for me to read them in order. Especially because, like, that's the way that I would most likely read things if they were currently published books. For example, like Kate Morton, she's a contemporary author. I've been reading her novels since they came out, since she published her second book, and I happened to read her first book first, and then her second book came out, and so on. Anyway, I read Where Angels Fear to Tread, which is his first novel, and then The Longest Journey is his second, and that's on the way. I've ordered it. It has been shipped. And then I think it's A Room with a View, now that I'm thinking about it. I could be incorrect. It's either Howard's End or A Room with a View, but I think it's A Room with a View. So anyway, it's going to take me a little bit longer to get to this one, if I'm correct on that. And I think this has to do with, like, an inheritance. Where should I start? I don't want to read the whole thing, but I'll tell you a bit about it since I've been reading the backs of the other ones. A saga of class relations and changing times in an Edwardian England on the brink of modernity, the film centers on liberal Margaret Schlegel? I don't know. Who, along with her sister Helen, becomes involved with two couples, wealthy conservative industrialist Henry Wilcox and his wife Ruth, and the downwardly mobile working class Leonard Bast and his mistress Jacques. The interwoven fates and misfortunes of these three families and the diverging trajectories of the two sisters' lives are connected to the ownership of Howard's End, the dying Ruth's beloved country home. Yeah, that's what I'll read, I guess, from the back here. And then the disc features on this. There's a collector's booklet featuring essays and stills, exclusive new interviews with the director and cast, behind-the-scenes featurettes and documentaries. Just plurals it. It just makes it plural. Behind-the-scenes featurettes and documentaries. It doesn't even... There must be a lot if they're not even just going to list them individually. A 2016 onstage Q&A, the original theatrical trailer and 2016 re-release trailer, and a new audio commentary track. You know, I've said this before, but I say in videos so much more than I even say in real life, and it's bothering me again. Like, I know I already said that it's bothering me that I'm saying a lot, but I was just thinking about how I don't even feel the need to say in person. So why do I do it in videos? Moving on, last movie here. And I do already own Howard's End, so I don't have to worry about getting that. And I do already own the book that this is based on. So here, lastly, we have Confession of a Child of the Century from 2012. And this is a French film. Everything else has been American or British, English, UK. Sometimes I don't know how to label, like, UK films, British films, English films. What do I say? I don't know. I feel like Americans tend to use at least British and English, like, interchangeably, and I don't actually know if they are the same. That makes me sound so ignorant, doesn't it? Alright, well, I'll admit it. I don't know. Anyway, Confession of the Child of the Century. Yes, double checking the title there. I do have this book. It is by Alfred de Musset, and last year I watched Children of the Century, a 90s film, I'm pretty sure. Did I say that this is French? That's where I was going with that whole thing. And then Children of the Century is also French, and that is more so based on just the real-life people of Alfred de Musset and George Sand. And they were writers of the 19th century, 1800s. Okay, Children of the Century, the film, is based on the real-life people, and those events inspired Alfred de Musset's book, yes, Confession of a Child of the Century, which is basically a fictionalized account of his affair with George Sand. So I made that more complicated than I needed to make it. Like, it shouldn't have been confusing, but I feel like I made it confusing. And I bought the book after I watched the movie and have yet to read it, but now that I have this, I'll get to it sooner. Although it is on my list of things to read soon, even before I was thinking of purchasing this. And then I saw it on the sale list, and I was like, oh, I should get that. And then the disc features are theatrical trailer and Confession of a French Literature Fanatic. I don't know what that is, but that sounds intriguing. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't think I need to, I mean, it's based on a book inspired by an affair that Alfred de Musset had with George Sand. So I don't think I really need to tell you more than that. Oh my god, my battery's low. Okay. Lastly, before my battery gets too low, I don't know what my phone would do if Okay, anyway. Yeah, okay, so that's everything that I got from the Kino sale and the Criterion sale. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention that in my 2 videos ago, was it? An update video? I was talking about an adaptation wish list video that I wanted to do, which I'm going to turn into a series. I have recorded a video for the 3 books that I would like to be adapted, and then in each video I discuss like what I want from each adaptation. And like the very first one I ended up recording, it took me like 50 minutes to record, and I recorded it twice, so I have to figure out which one is better or splice them together, which I really hate doing, to be honest. So I'm probably just gonna choose one and then edit the one. Yeah, so I'm gonna film an intro to that series soon, and then I have those 3 videos to edit. They're all pretty long. I mean, granted, there's a lot of me just like repeating lines because I had like written a bunch of information and I was like trying to say the specific lines that I had typed out, but I didn't actually memorize it or anything. I was just trying to read and like make it sound natural and not just be tongue-tied. So hopefully it's all well. I mean, I did enough to the point of like I didn't really care, I guess, as long as I was getting the information out. So anyway, yeah, I have those 3 videos to edit and the introduction video to film, and for now it'll just be those 3. But like once I read more books that don't have adaptations, or I realize like, oh, that would be, you know, once I have like more specific ideas, I guess, of other books that I've read that don't have adaptations, then I could do videos on those. Anyway, that was kind of long. I don't have like a schedule or anything, or like know when those things will be coming out specifically. Yeah, okay, my battery's low, so I'm gonna end now. Yes, okay. This is officially the end. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you got during the Criterion sale, and if you got anything during the Kino sale too. And like what you think of these films that I have talked about here. So yes, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.